special meeting, and we'll start with the roll call. City Manager.
Councilperson Klur.
Here.
Councilman Stackfleth.
Here.
Councilman Collins.
Here.
And we have a quorum.
Is our applicant here? Okay, why don't you come up to the podium and introduce yourself. I've read your application, and I'm ready to appoint you, but we have to go through the formalities of
You haven't met me yet, no?
You go ahead and introduce yourself.
My name is Patty McCarthy. Let's see, what can I say? Yeah, I'm born and raised here, grown up here. I don't know what the Planning Commission does particularly. I'm kind of curious to find out what, if I even qualify, but I find it interesting because I'm concerned about Mount Shasta.
Thank you, Patty.
Sure.
Councilmember Collins, would you have any questions?
I do. More just commentary. And it's about what the Planning Commission does.
Okay.
I spoke to Mike earlier today, and it's, if you come from the background of being a builder, or you have a knowledge of a lot of the technicalities of building codes and zonings and California Environmental Quality Act, and that those worlds that affect things moving, that are likely to move through the Planning Commission.
Okay.
That's one thing, although many are on that and they don't.
Okay.
And that means they spend a lot of time on the front end, on the learning curve of it,
Okay.
coming up to speed with a lot of those details. And it's a good bit of work, and it's to climb up that curve takes you, it's for most normal people, it takes a year or two before you really get facile with a lot of the details that are in the Planning Commission. When I was talking to Mike, I said, I don't think I could do the job. It wouldn't be for me. I don't know that world at all.
I don't either, but.
Well, but that's not necessary, because you'd ask, well, what's entailed? And I'm just trying to talk about that a little bit. The answer is you can certainly climb up the curve, but it's a longer-term commitment. If you're going to hop on, you don't want to go do it, for instance, in general for just 2 years, because it'll take you most of 2 years to figure out kind of where the groundwork is. And I think it's a good it's a good bit of work climbing up that learning curve. And I just want to bring that up as a function of just kind of to try and help you be aware of all what would likely be involved.
I appreciate that. Okay.
And that said, having somebody on the Planning Commission that is, because Mike and I talked about you for quite some time, because when I saw him as a reference, I went, well, yeah, I mean, that Mike and I go way back, and so I had a chance to talk. And,
good.
Being born and raised here gives you a sense of perspective that many folks who've moved here don't have, or at least don't have to the level of somebody who's born and raised here. And I think that's a valuable perspective in my perspective.
Okay.
And I guess that's about it. Other than if you have any questions for us.
I can't think of any right now. Like I said, I just don't know, what you do. I mean, it makes sense what you said, but I don't know exactly what you do. I'm sure it is very detailed, and it's a little daunting for me. I mean, to hear it, which it's, and I've been retired for 7 years, so I'm kind of out of the swing of doing something, and
Well, the meetings are once a month,
Okay.
and frankly, they don't always meet once a month, from what I've seen. And we have a city planner that's very experienced and knowledgeable, and he'll certainly help you to understand.
That's a big plus,
And
for sure.
understand things at the meetings. And I think it's allowed for you to come in during his office hours and maybe get schooled on some details if you have any questions. So
Okay.
if you have the time, you are retired, then if you want to learn this learn about this particular committee and what it does, this commission, what it does, you can find out from good sources. Anyhow, do you have questions for this applicant?
Just wanted to add on and say thank you for stepping up and diving into something that's maybe unknown, but I think having your roots here and knowing just the history of the town and how we're all here to make sure it grows and thrives and survives, and having your input is very valuable. So I appreciate what you're doing. And I think with anything, jumping into something new takes a lot of learning curve. I know when I stepped up to this, I had some experience with government on the finance side, but nothing on the other. So I agree with the other council members that it does take time to really get your arms around it. But once you're in it and are thriving, it's pretty cool to be a part of. So I appreciate what you're doing.
Oh, thank you. And it sounds interesting. You know, I live near the Nest, and I guess that's kind of what got me started, watching their progress over there, and that's wonderful, because that's been such a bad spot for such a long time. But yeah, so that kind of got me interested. Yeah.
Do I have a motion to appoint?
I will move to appoint Patty McCarthy to Planning Commission.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Patty? Yeah. You two are not participating. We have a quorum, so we're good. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Oh, thank you. Thank you
You've
for your
got
time.
the proverbial job, as we say, and thank you for volunteering. Really appreciate it.
Sure.
And I think if you have the time, you'll see that it's
Okay.
learnable subject.
Good.
Yeah.
I do have a comment. We have an excellent planning director who is very knowledgeable. Will do everything he can to assist you in becoming educated. On the other hand, I would encourage you not to be lazy and rely solely on him.
What? I'm sorry.
Not to be lazy and rely solely on him.
Oh, no.
Cal Cities, the California League of Cities, which is calcities.org, has a wonderful training site for planning commissioners.
Okay.
With lots of different materials, educational materials, going back some years.
Okay.
And
That's a good,
There's all sorts of stuff online.
yeah, it's all online, and I would really encourage you to engage in self-education as well.
That sounds good to me.
Okay.
Well, thank you all for your time. Thank you.
Thank you again,
Thank
Patty.
you.
Appreciate it. All right, with that appointment being made, we have no other business in this particular session, so I will call this meeting adjourned.